How many active oil refineries are there in Russia? Big and small. 37. How many oil refineries have been attacked and damaged by Ukrainian unmanned aircrafts, also known as drones, in the recent months? 13. 35% of all oil refining capacity of Russia has been damaged. Wow.
Да, это беспилотник. Ну, блин, где ты там? Да нет, конечно. Не вижу. Не вижу.
The guy is laughing, and he's not laughing anymore. Well, howdy everyone. My name is Konstantin, and welcome to Inside Russia, where usual Russia is explained by the unusual Russian. That's me. As usual, you will not find here BS, lies, or propaganda. You will only find truth, common sense, and logic, and some emotions, because I am a human being after all. And I'm going to be continuing talking about oil refineries and troubles that are happening right now. This is part 2 of the streams about Russian oil industry and petrol products. In the part 1, I basically explained how Russian industry works. And part 2, I'm giving you the attacks and facts and figures. It all started on June 22nd, 2022, in Rostov province. I still remember that day. Novoshakhtinsky NPZ oil refinery plant was attacked by what appeared to be 2 drones. And it's located not far from Ukrainian border. I was sitting in Rostov on a wonderful June day, and I saw that happen in the news. And this is what happened.
Да, это беспилотник. Ну, блин, где ты там?
You see, it was the very first time Russia was attacked, and the guy couldn't even think that someone can attack with drones. You see, he was laughing, and all of a sudden, his attitude changed. You see, changed big time, because that's what happened in Novoshakhtinsky NPZ. It was shocking, to say, I think that doesn't even explain, what really happened. The initial reaction from the public was shock. It was the first attack on Russian soil ever. And before that, no one had thought that it's possible, okay? It was a crazy idea. And then it happened all of a sudden. I personally remember that day well, again. No one had any understanding that the war could come to the Russian land, and it was a wake-up call for everyone. Since then, the attacks have been so numerous that it's really hard to count and show them all. Well, I want to show you some real-life videos of attacks on Russian oil refineries and large storage facilities. Again, 13 out of them have been damaged, some repaired, since some are still out of commission. And, let's start with the attack on oil storage facility, not oil refinery, but in Russia they called oil storage. Neftebaza in the city of Oryol.
Прям через дорогу практически ебануло сейчас.
There are comments, and of course swear words, quite a few of them. You could see the black smoke coming up. And this is what happened. Pictures. More smoke. And we are moving on to Kaluzhsk oil refinery plant in Kaluga.
Ебать, где он есть?
Not too far
На
from
пятаке?
Хуя, блядь!
bad words, and I'm gonna have you watch this again. Again, no one expected. They were thinking, oh, it's just a drone, and then boom. There will be a lot of swear words in Russian as well. You see that the operator of the drone is taking his sweet time to fly around, and boom. Oh, that's a new one. Hang on. So, what I believe is Ryazansky NPZ oil refinery. I'll just start right from the start. And this is pretty darn bad. Wow. Big fire. Wow, the guys are not, they're, not afraid to use the language. I mean, check this out. Huge fire. This extensive damage. And this is how it looked at a different angle. It looks like the footage from security camera. Now let's move to something major. Major. This is Volgogradsky MPZ, owned by a large company called Lukoil. And check this out. Firefighters, I want you to see and think of the size, magnitude of the damages done to this oil refinery facility. This is brand new, state of the art, by the way. Boom. Oh, that's not it. Let me tell you a thing or two about watch again. Boom. Now that's far away. That's a few kilometers. And look at the size of that flame, of that explosion. Now let me tell you something about this oil refinery. I know it personally quite well. Let's go back, see. What you see in here is the remnants of the primary refining unit. Usually these units are low tech, and they're huge constructions. Oil is put there, crude oil, and it's salt is taken out of it, desalinized, whatever. I mean, so the salt is taken out, and the oil moves further to, so the different chemical process start happening. So this is the remnants of this primary refining unit, and it was modernized. This unit was modernized 2 years ago, and total amount of investments was made around $200 million. I'm sorry. That's right, 200 million US dollars. I know the refinery quite well. I know because when I was employed by a Russian construction company, we constructed power plants, big facilities for different customers. You know, oil companies were big customers, was really difficult to break in there. And I remember we were making a bid to construct a power plant, a smaller power plant at that oil refinery in Volgograd. We did not win the bid. Boy, was it corrupted or what. Still have memories of that. Anyway, it looks like, well, Volgograd oil refinery is among 4 major ones on the European part of Russia, and it gives a tremendous output of petroleum products, and now it's out of commission. And from what it looks like from the pictures, it's out of commission for a long time. And of course, there's no official information coming in, zilch. If it wasn't for this different footages and pictures taken by passing buyers, by people, we wouldn't even know the magnitude of problems at the oil refineries. But thank goodness for Telegram, for cell phones with high-resolution cameras, for internet, we know now. So extensive damages there, and that's a huge hit to oil refining industry, that oil refinery. Now this one is a little off topic. This is Severstal, a large metallurgical plant. There was an attack on the plant, and this is footage from inside one of the facilities that was damaged, destroyed, I don't know. Well, clearly not good. Severstal is a large metallurgical plant. One of the biggest customers is the military industrial complex of Russia. The factory is producing weapons. So the metallurgical plant was attacked, and my bet it's producing much less metal than it used to, and much less metal is supplied to the military industrial complex factories. The next one is oil refinery targeted, and the attack was successful, and it's located in southern city of Slavyansk na Kubani, located between Krasnodar and
Людей, конечно, тьма.
a lot of obscenities, so I'll, turn the volume down. And this is another footage of that explosion. This was clearly and I have some more footage. Someone is driving on a highway, and this highway leads from Krasnodar, major city in the south, to Crimea Bridge. And it goes through this city of Slavyansk na Kubani.
Вот еще один прилет.
They're basically were filming live, and they're commenting. There's so many cars just stopped, and people got out and watched and filmed, and there are cops everywhere. And you can see that the damages done to those facilities are huge, because you can see flames from very, very far. So this is, again, folks, this is real life. These people were just driving by, they saw, they stopped, and they were filming. And things like that are priceless because, this is not propaganda. This is not big media news, conditioned, perhaps altered. This what is real life looks like. This comes from the cell phones of people, passing buyers. No alternation here, This is real life. Slaviansk na Kubani. This is the very south of Russia, not too far from the Sea of... What is this? Yeah, that's the Black Sea. And the last footage of Slaviansk fire, right here, security camera. Well, that appears to be a different footage. That's not Slaviansk, St. Petersburg. And a drone or unmanned some kind of aircraft that was intercepted, shot down by a Russian missile. It's over St. Petersburg.
Да, там ПВО работает.
And we're seeing the same at the different angle. And now, very unusual sight in St. Petersburg. Listen, make your volume up. I guess there was already an explosion. Right there. You could hear that the car alarms went off. And you can see far away, when the alarm goes off, car starts blinking. So many cars started blinking. There's a huge explosion over St. Petersburg. And this, by the way, is the very center of St. Petersburg. It's not too far from the Hermitage. That's also St. Petersburg. It's, same event, just different angle. I guess this is how stability and safety looks in Russia these days. Now, Putin said that he invaded Ukraine to gain more stability and safety for Russia, and this is how it looks like. And this is Suzranya. Huge fire. And the sound of fire is pretty strong as well. And the same scissoring, same place. You can see up close how this primary oil refining unit looks like. Disturbing sounds. And this one is Tuapse. Tuapse is located right on the Black Sea coast. When you drive from Krasnodar to Sochi, the place of the Olympics, it was about halfway. Been through this oil refinery so many times. I drove from Rostov to Sochi.
Это самое пипец. Самое главное в этом.
See, this is... it's located right inside of a city, by the way. Not a big city. That's a town, a large town, Tuapse, but a big port, by the way, Black Sea port. And this is the heart of the city, the port and oil refinery. Well, gosh, I keep on telling myself, Russians, they bought this stability, increased stability and safety and security for their country. Do they ever ask themselves a question? Is this how this new security looks like? Is this is how, that's what we're supposed to get as increased stability? Okay. Well, anyway, there were a few more successful attacks, and I could not show you all of them. They were 13 in total, to be exact. Besides, there were many more unsuccessful attempts. We don't know how many, not even close, and no one knows. So the damage has been done. And where is Russian oil refining industry standing right now? More than half of the capacities of large refineries in Russia are within reach of the Ukrainian unmanned aircraft. If you look at the map of Russia, you can divide it into two parts: the European part, the west of Russia, and the east of Russia. And the divider is the Urals Mountains, usually. So pretty much anything, half of the territory before the Ural Mountains, to the east, can be reached by the drones. There are 16 large Russian refineries in a potentially vulnerable area for attacks by Ukrainian drones. 16 large refineries. They account for 52% of the total oil refining of the largest enterprises, oil companies in this Russian industry. Now, again, 16 large Russian refineries, and 13 have been damaged. 3 have been left alone for now. Are you counting? I am. According to some calculations done by the experts who wish to remain anonymous, and I totally understand that, there are a total of 37 large refineries in Russia. 16 of them are within reach of the attacks by Ukrainian drones, and together these plants process 158.4 million metric tons of oil per year. At the same time, 10 of oil refineries and 3 oil storage facilities in this area have already been attacked. And these storage facilities, these refineries and storage facilities are Lukoil, Nizhny Gorod Nefti Gas Synthese, large company. I remember among my potential clients way back 10-15 years ago. Lukoil Volgograd Neftepererabotka, that's that large modern plane that was hit. Yaroslavl Neftegas Synthese. Also Rязань, Туапсе, Новокуйбышевский, Сызранский, Новошахтинский, Ilsky and Slaviansky refineries. At the moment, 22 large refineries processing 146.3 million tons of oil per year. And they are out of reach for the strikes by Ukrainian army. And I already explained, they're located in the east of Russia. So theoretically, they can cover the needs of military, Russian armed forces, conducting the war in Ukraine, and enterprises that are producing weapons. Now, there's a problem. There are 2 problems with that. First problem is, I already explained, these 22 large refineries are located in the east of Russia, and they're far away from most military industrial complex enterprises, factories, and from the front lines. The fuel, that is the result of the product of oil refineries, the fuel, usually diesel and high-octane gasoline, it must be transported by rail. There are a few so-called pipelines for oil refined products, but they're loaded 100%. You cannot possibly, in any way, you cannot pump more. So therefore, if you decide to cover all the needs of the army and military enterprises with the fuel from the east, you must transport it somehow to the west. And you can only do that by rail. And the railroads in Russia are already overloaded. And I explained that in the previous stream. The link is right here. And that's a huge problem, capacity. And of course, the second problem is, all right, if you have your Western oil refineries out of commission, and then you have Eastern working, all right, even if you somehow transport diesel from east to west, and it's enough for the army and for army factories, military factories, what about people, consumers? What about businesses? What about farms? There won't be enough supply for them, and ratios must be introduced. And it's looking like, at this moment, it's looking like the ratios for gasoline and diesel fuel will be introduced. And the most likely scenario is that these ratios are in Russia are called quotas. Quote in Russia it's quote, but quotas. Most likely what's going to happen, these quotas will be given to different enterprises, perhaps to farmers, and that fuel that they will be able to buy within their quotas will be sold to them at a lower price. And of course, there'll be a free market, and the price is going to be astronomical. And what's going to happen is that those who will be in control of quotas, they will be taking bribes, okay? And there will be a black market born. And I believe it's being born right now, because I think right now there are experts sitting there and calculating how much fuel is not going to be received in the coming months, how much fuel is needed, and what to do next, okay? So this is going to be a big problem for them. Is there a solution to this oil refining problems caused by the attacks? Perhaps Russian government would provide drone protection defense? Well, after all, Russian army is number 2 in the world. That is according to the Russian army, of course. So it must have many goodies to protect everyone in Russia. For example, those good folks of Belgorod. Yes, of course, army number 2 will have no problem protecting the citizens of Belgorod, Kursk, and all Belgorod province, right? Well, let alone oil refineries. Piece of cake, no problem. Well, Russian government has been hinting the oil companies, so they themselves they have been building air defense systems around their facilities. I just learned about it a few days ago, and I was absolutely amazed. I thought that, that was not the case, but it actually is a case. So far, it doesn't help. It's not much of a help. But it turns out that over the past year, Russian oil companies, for example, Rosneft, Lukoil, and Transneft, and those are Russia's 3 largest oil companies, have conducted almost 300 tenders for the purchases of air defense tools, protection things. And the amount of purchases is at least 1 billion rubles. So it shows us that these companies have been taking this issue of air defense seriously. They've spent 1 billion rubles, and I take it you can buy a lot for that money. It's really impossible to say. There are different experts been looking into the purchases in depth, but it's hard to say because many of the tenders that were conducted, they're so-called closed ones. They're not for the public to see. It's just business of an oil company. For example, Rosneft plans to use portable counteraction systems, anti-drone guns. I didn't even know they were anti-drone guns. And stationary electronic detection systems and suppression systems for drones, as well as they want to stretch nets between masts to kind of deflect drones. Well, good luck to you. It is absolutely safe to say that, let's suppose this situation, right? Let's suppose that the attacks, Ukrainian attacks on oil refineries in Russia are to stop right now. No more attacks in the future. So at this point, with 13 refineries and oil storage facilities already damaged, and some are damaged more, some are damaged less, and some have inducted huge damages. Some were damaged in the past because we're talking about 13 attacks spread out in time. Some already are back up into operation, and some are out of commission for months, perhaps for years, okay? So imagine that right now, no more attacks. The industry already is in trouble because of that damage. It'll take months, perhaps years, to repair damages, and the production of petroleum products has already dropped as I am speaking right now. Well, guess what? Those attacks, they will not stop. And this is it. Russian oil refining industry is in huge trouble. It's absolutely defenseless against Ukrainian drones, low-tech stuff, cheap stuff. And Russian military is not going to do anything about it because it turns out they aren't the army number 2 in the world. Perhaps 222, that I can believe, 122, perhaps, perhaps even 22, I could believe that, but not number 2. And it doesn't have air defense. Global air defense doesn't exist. Only, some spots are protected, as Vladimir Putin's houses, Moscow, certain places in Moscow, such as Ministry of Defense and stuff like that. But as it turns out, no oil refineries. Well, guess what? This is what you get for invading your neighbors, killing their citizens and stealing their lands. I project one thing, I forecast, the attacks will continue. The damage will be done more and more in the future. Russian oil refining industry will produce less and less diesel fuel and petroleum. There will be shortages. Prices will skyrocket, and it's not fair for me to say I predict that the prices will skyrocket. Well, I don't have to be a genius to predict that, to forecast that. The thing is, they have already skyrocketed, about from 20 to 33%, depending on different kinds of fuel. That's wholesale exchange. Russia has one large wholesale exchange for fuels. Used to be 40,000 for a ton. Now it's 60. So the prices are already up. It's just a matter of a few days when people will start seeing the prices at the gas stations when they pump gas. But hey, like I've been saying all along, the show coating was going to last until March 17th. And today, March 22nd, sugar coating is off. And I have my popcorn, a big one right here, and I suggest you have your popcorn ready. And, I give daily news and you sign up to become a patron at patreon.com or a sponsor here on YouTube, so you will get access to those daily news. Because, once a day I do a live stream on one topic, but news, there are plenty. There are dozens and dozens. And I give you 9 most important, most interesting, and crucial news that I find every single day. So, folks, thank you so very much. I'd like to invite everyone to join me in a live stream chat. I'd like to hear from you. That's my most favorite part of any stream. And I would love to try to answer your questions. I love answering them and hearing from you. Thank you so very much. I hope you found today's live stream interesting, helpful, useful. Let me know, please. The live stream chat is on, as far as I see. Just give me a second here. By the way, I'm drinking wonderful English breakfast tea. If you'd like to buy me tea or coffee, that'd be a good time to do that. Not required, but much appreciated, Thank you so much. Let's do it. Check this thing out again.
Да, это беспилотник. Ну, блин, где ты там?
I remember that news. It was the very, very first news of that shocked everyone. I remember watching it, and I was myself at disbelief. I had known and I had forecasted that would happen, but I didn't know. I mean, it's always a shock when it happens in front of you. So I noticed that guy was laughing, saying, "Oh, look, that's a Ukrainian drone. Ha, 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 ha." And all of a sudden, boom, right here.
Да, это беспилотник.
He's laughing.
Ну, блин,
Ha,
где
ha,
ты там?
ha.
Да нет, конечно. Не вижу.
It's like, yeah, where are you? And you see how drone is falling downwards? Boom. And then these guys aren't laughing anymore. Okay, so I remember that day very well. Again, please forgive me for repeating it, but I remember I was in awe, in shock and awe, and I downloaded this little clip and I sent it to my mods, Lorna and Mammy K, who are here right now. And, I'm very glad to see you. Not just them, but Bob S., Dirk, Amir, and Harry Potnan. So, by the way, this is the best moderation team you can ever have anywhere on YouTube, and I'm so thankful and grateful for you guys. Thank you so much, and girls too. So anyway, I sent it to them, and I was like, wow, and they were speechless too. I don't remember the reaction, but it was like, wow. Yeah, for the first time. Anyway, this is what you get for attacking your neighbors. Folks, if you want me to see your message easier, please put it in all caps and put inside Russia after @ so it appears in a large orange box. I see it so much easier. Thank you. Just like Sam K, the legend, did. Howdy, Bakerstock. Thank you, friends. Leitmotiv for me, as usual. And great to see all the usual suspects. Terry, Ken, Jimmy, Tom, George Rames, Theodore, Sow It and Hope It Grows, Alex, Liz, Life, Scott, Joao Marinos, Tom W., Johnny, Veronica, and True. The Underdog, good to see you. Kermo, Heater, Faith Russert, Maria, Mention 2, Howdy, Hi D Hi, Luigi Aqua, Ho Ho Ho. So, let's jump into the questions. I'll be answering those in all caps and in The ones that are highlighted in orange. You know, the best coffee I've ever had was in the United States of America. Americans just absolutely the best when it comes to coffee. I mean, I've traveled all over Europe. I've been to Italy, really good coffee, you know, but nothing beats American coffee, to me at least. And nothing beats the English tea. English tea is absolutely the best. And I've tried so many different kinds that come from different countries, different companies, but nothing beats English breakfast. Thank you. I also like Scottish breakfast that I have right now, and that's also it's even stronger. And I don't remember if there's a such thing as Irish breakfast. I think I've seen tea and I've had tea made by Brody's. That is good too. Scottish breakfast knocks you right out. Martin, thank you so much. Looks like you are in Canada. I appreciate the support. Thank you. No message, but it's heard and much appreciated. Thank you. The underdog from Stockholm. Heater, wow, I was in St. Petersburg with my girl not so many years ago. Walked out to that ship seen in your video clip. That ship is called Крейсер Aurora, and every single Russian knows that. Что тебе снится? Крейсер Aurora. That ship gave a signal to the storming of the Winter Palace by the Bolsheviks. And you know, they always say that the Bolshevik Revolution started with Aurora's firing one of its cannons. It's beautiful there. I've been to St. Petersburg quite a few times. I also like it there. It's beautiful, especially in the good weather. That doesn't happen often. Shame Russia went crazy. My friend, it is a shame. Dita from Munich, thank you so much. München. Thank you for the videos. Stay healthy and safe. I'm trying my best. I'm doing my best to stay safe and healthy as best as I can. Thank you, Dieter. Wayne Gwyn, thank you for sponsoring 10 people. I appreciate it. Thank you. That was a good question from an interesting one, a sarcastic. Could it be interesting for Russians to invest in heavy horses and wood gasifiers? Good question. You know, I was reading an article today, and I realized one thing. Russians don't think long-term now. They think today and tomorrow and perhaps next week, and that's it. It's absolutely terrible. Such thing is investments in Russia has disappeared. People don't even know what investments are anymore. What do you think? Russia will really have a crisis with gasoline and diesel? They have large stocks. Since when they have large stocks, my friend? Perhaps they had some stocks, but they never keep diesel and gasoline in stocks. They sell it. They export to different countries. And lately, for the past 25 years, all that they were producing beyond their ability to sell, all it went to the armed forces because, you know, war needs lots of diesel and gas. So I not only think that there will be a crisis with gasoline, I am already seeing it. There is a panic at the Ministry of Energy. They don't know what to do. The gasoline prices have gone up from 40,000 rubles for metric ton to 60,000 rubles by 1/3. If you think it's not bad enough, well, think twice. Just give it a couple days. You don't have to wait much. You will see prices going up. You will see shortages at the gas pumps. And then probably later, as they will start trying to manage shortages, they will introduce rationing or quotas, how they call it in Russia. If it's not and of course the gasoline will be costing, you just wait. If you don't think it's a crisis, I don't really know what crisis is. Terry, thank you so much. Always fantastic to see you. Rainier, do you think Taurus rockets would be game changer? I think they would be. Tacoma in the house. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Is this Tacoma? Is this Northern California or Oregon? I think that's California, right? Nosferata dentata. It's not that they're able to sell petrol products abroad anyway. They can. They were able to sell them abroad. I'm ashamed to say I don't remember whether the sanctions work for petrol products. I know that the sanctions for the crude oil, but petrol, I don't remember. I don't quote me. I just don't know. Excuse me. I don't know. But what I really know is that 2 weeks ago, Russian government has enacted a ban on all petroleum products exports. Now, the companies cannot even try to sell petroleum products abroad because obviously there's shortage going on the domestic market, Terry Carter, good to see you. Terry, please update us on whether we should continue praying for your in-laws, I believe. They are still on the prayers list. Fiancé and in-laws, if I'm not mistaken. Elsha, your daily news are very interesting, but the size of the font is too small for my phone. Have to use a magnifying glass. Elsha, understood. I will see what I can do. Thank you. Thank you for the good words. Arno from the Netherlands. Apeldoorn. Howdy, friend. Thank you, Bob. Please forgive me. Nightbot is still sleeping. Nightbot's most likely not going to be. I can't get it up for this channel anymore. RJ Marshall, I find it hilarious that Russia calls Ukraine drone attacks on their oil deposit terrorist attack. You know what, RJ? It makes two of us. About a year and a half ago, 18 months ago, Russia started using new strategy in the war with Ukraine. It could not advance its troops into the territory of Ukraine, so it started bombing Ukraine cities, trying to target the infrastructure. It was bombing water treatment plants, lots of substations. It tried to bomb power plants, and one of the Russian top officials, a senator in charge of the Ministry of Defense Committee or Military Committee, live, he clearly said, we are targeting civilian infrastructure. The host of the TV channel, he was shocked. He said, but we're not against regular people. We're not doing it. We're just against Ukrainian soldiers. Said, no, things have changed. We're targeting civilian infrastructure. We want Ukrainians to freeze. We want them to go and revolt and, get rid of the government. And now the Ukrainians are doing the same. And all of a sudden, it's terrorist attacks. Leslie Playfair, have you considered buying a house in Tashkent? Leslie, speaking of my whereabouts and personal things about, now here, including where I live, is off limits. I don't want to discuss these things. I don't want to discuss my plans. I already am not feeling that safe. I just don't want to put myself into more danger, so to speak. I have thought of many things. I have considered many things, but thank you for asking anyway. South Africa, Andrew Hodson. Howdy, Andrew. Sneak, Netherlands. Martin, howdy. Will gas prices rise globally? No, they will not. Manatee, I take it you're from Florida. Prices will not rise globally because Russian oil refining market is small, tiny. And the amount of refined petroleum products that Russia was selling was just minuscule. Russian crude oil is different. So now, if there was a ban on Russian crude oil exports, that would just ruin global markets. But no worries about oil refining. Very little impact on world's prices. Mac, thank you so much for sponsoring 5 people. Thank you. And there's a super chat from Flashy Beach. Thank you. I've seen small bits of news about Freedom of Russia Legion, Russian volunteer corps around Belgorod. It is difficult to find true information. Are they effective enough to start causing problems for Putin's military? Yes, they are. Because first of all, it's really hard to find information here as well. Russian propaganda is silent about that. It's a good sign that it is serious. If it wasn't, they'd be talking about that. But it is serious. Now, Russian Minister of Defense said that Russian armed forces are putting some additional troops into Belgorod and Kursk regions. Where do they come from? From reinforcing the troops on the front lines. Okay? And this is sign number 2. It tells me that it's serious. Otherwise, Russian troops would not be pulled from someplace else and thrown into Belgorod and Kursk provinces. It's just a very good question. The Chechens, quite some time ago, they promised to protect Belgorod province, and they supposedly placed their troops there. Where are the Chechens? They're nowhere to be found. I mean, obviously Belgorod is under attack. No Chechens. Interesting. This is a very smart move from these folks. And, well, that's a part of armed forces of Ukraine, obviously. And they work synchronized, That's going to pull resources, troops, armor, perhaps planes, away from the front lines and use it on the territory of Russia. I hope I answered your question. Thank you. Jake Allen, thank you so much. It'll be interesting to see how the common Russian deals with extreme fuel shortages in their future. Solar. So far, nothing seemed to face them. Jekyll, first of all, good to see you. Thank you for staying with the channel for so long and sending help and interacting, and thank you. I am also looking forward to seeing what's going to happen and how Russian people will be reacting, because I've tried talking to them so many times, and guess what? it's like they're in a bubble, and the bubble is protected by armor plates, and you just can't get through those plates inside. What I expect them to do is the bubbles will burst, and they will emerge from inside their bubbles. How can they burst? Well, a few things. First of all, the food prices will rise significantly. There will be food shortages. There will be gasoline shortages, and there will be huge increase in gas prices. These four recipes for, taking people out of their bubbles, they work. Okay, and that's why there was so much sugarcoating going on before the elections, because these things can upset Russian people and upset people, although it's not fatal for Putin anymore, I think, because his Sardukars are so effective. They would crush anyone, but still, it's something, you know. So hang on 1 second. Again, thank you, Jekyll, Mac, Flash Beige, Mac, Wayne Gwynn, Dita from Munich, Martin, thank you, friends. Big money. With fewer refineries, will this force oil wells to shut down? Good question. In theory, they wouldn't have to shut down if they had enough storage to store crude oil. But it seems like, well, the breaking news today is that the Indians have refused to receive Russian oil coming at the ships of a large shipping company called Roskomflot. Okay, and they're kicking out these tankers out of India. And no one knows what's going to happen to that oil now. So I think that all storage facilities are already full of Russian oil inside Russia. What are they going to do with it? I honestly have no clue. Okay, and shutting down oil wells is the extreme measure. Will it get there? I don't know. But it's a good question. I have noted it, and I'll try to find out. Sam K, the legend. We won me. What is your opinion on Russia attacking Baltic states? Supposedly there is a SPB военный округ being made. More military exercises close to the borders. I just gave an interview to a web channel, YouTube channel called Lithuania Explained. And the host of the channel was asking me these questions. What was my opinion on a possibility of Russia invading Lithuania? My answer is Lithuanians have nothing to worry about at this point because they are protected. They are part of NATO, and Russians are deathly afraid of NATO invoking Article 5 because that's going to be the end of Russian game. They know that. Like I said before, when a missile was intercepted and fell on the territory of Poland, right on the border, but on the other side, and destroyed a Polish farm and killed a farmer, Pole, Russians got so afraid. They started running around saying, it's not us, and there was panic for a couple days. And they were afraid of NATO invoking Article 5. So, I mean, Lithuania, Latvia, and Estonia are protected well by the Article 5. I think you have nothing to worry about. If you didn't have it, if you weren't protected by NATO, then, oh boy, you'd be next. Because you were always considered in the USSR troublemakers, and you were the first ones to secede, and you were the first ones to put up fight against the Soviet system. You guys are awesome, But they won't touch you now. So I hope I answered your question. Watch my interview at Lithuania Explained for more information on that. James Lay, thank you so much. I'm worried about your safety. You seem to be so on point with your comment. Thank you, James. I worry about my safety too, but what can I do now? Trying to do my best. Shorm the Bear. Sorry. Constantine, been watching your channel since Special Operation started. Great channel. Thank you so much. Thank you for the good words. I will keep up. I will keep on. I will continue. RJ, do you believe Putin will make it to another term, as in not pass because of age of health or whatever? No, I don't believe he'll make it. I believe that he is at the very end. His end is nearing. The crocodile is here. I don't know when, obviously, but I feel that the end is nearing. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. Have you watched Peter Pan? Well, the crocodile is here. David Bowers from Northern Ontario. Howdy, friend. Thank you. No, TJ, electricity is not produced in Russia with oil. It's produced with natural gas, and there's plenty of it. And now it's much more than Russia would like to have, because Russia is not selling very little to Europe through Ukraine, and that is going to stop next year in 2025. Electricity is produced with natural gas. Some electricity is produced with coal, and that is in the Far East, where there are large coal fields, very high quality coal. And by the way, China has just refused, and decreased by a great deal, the imports of coal. That's another huge blow for Russian economy. Folks, just give it a few days, perhaps a couple weeks. American dollar is becoming, Russian ruble is becoming devalued as we speak. Prices of gasoline are going up. I'll make another economic stream. It's overdue. Leitmotif for me, are the storage facilities above ground? No, they are not. They are not. Let me show you again. Hang on. Орел. Look, this is above ground, large storage facility. This is you can clearly see this is above ground storage facility. Different picture of the same facility, It's basically a huge tank of white color, usually. It says in big letters, big print, oil or something like that. So it's much cheaper to have above ground facility than underground. You see, when they were designing and constructing, no one thought that would be a war happening in Russia. No one thought that would be a war happening in Ukraine. By the way, this is very ironic. Those large, let me show you again. You see these things? They are primary columns, and you can see that one of these columns is collapsed. It's on the ground. Okay, it's right there, right behind the firefighters. See the huge, you can see it from afar, huge construction, huge part. A lot of parts for those primary columns were produced in Ukraine, in Luhansk, And now Russians simply have no place to get the parts to restore, to fix them. Well, karma. Florian, welcome to Inside Russia. Good to see you. Darla, thank you so much for your support and for your nice words. Thank you. Joe Bloggs said something like 14% of capacity, if I'm not wrong. Well, Joe Bloggs quoted someone in one of the Russian experts. I did not give you percentage today because at this point it still is unclear. 14% capacity lost is just a speculation. We don't know. What we do know is that Russian government is, perhaps we can call this panic, because I know that there's an emergency meeting tomorrow on the 22nd, and they're going to be deciding what to do. Perhaps soon we will get real numbers confirmed, and 14% of capacity, Joe Bloggs is doing his best, but even inside Russia, that number is not clear. It's speculations by some experts. Melanie, pipes, valves, electric and electric valves. Black market is going to be wild now. Leslie saw gasoline $2.96 a gallon in upstate New York. Well, it doesn't tell us anything, because what was the price before? Is it good price? You consider it high? Or I remember paying like 96 cents for a gallon in Maine in 1998. It was considered cheap. I filled up my full tank for under $10. But then the prices started raising. When I was leaving the USA, it was $1.40 a gallon, something like that. Okay, friends, I see that it's already 1:30 a.m. here, so let's wrap it up and pray. Hang on, let me see if I haven't missed anyone. George Rames, thank you so much for being such a great member of our community for 21 months. That's 21 months. Wow. Darla, thank you again. James Slay, Jekyll, Mac, Flashy Beige, Wayne Gwynn, Mac, Dita, Martin, Van Owen, thank you so very much. Friends, before I invite everyone to pray along, I would like to let you know that I'm going to take a little break for a few days. Not completely disappear, but I'm going to be taking it easier. Probably 1 or perhaps 2 streams, and the rest will be videos. Not too long of videos, but, around 10-15 minutes perhaps, something like that. I've said it before, I feel like if I keep on going without any breaks, it becomes too hard. I get burned out. So in order not to do that, I decided to take a short break every month, and about a week off every 3 months or so. So I hope you understand. Thank you so much. Now, definitely that will not affect the news. Still 9 news every single day for patrons and sponsors. I'll be in touch in the community posts on Patreon in chat. There's a pretty cool feature. I'll be updating, and again, I'll be releasing videos. I'm not sure if I'll be able to make on time tomorrow Friday news update, but definitely if not tomorrow, I'll catch up on the weekend. So please keep on coming back. don't disappear for long. Thank you. And I invite everyone to finish this live stream. I hope you liked it and found it interesting. So let's finish it with a prayer, as usual. Let's do it. Dear Lord Jesus Christ, thank you so much for giving us this day. Thank you for putting food on our tables and giving roofs over our heads. Thank you for surrounding us with people who we love and who love us. Please give us wisdom to keep the skies above our children's heads safe and peaceful. And give us wisdom to raise them so they grow up people who make this world a better place and who will never fight with each other, will never participate in any wars. For now, please keep our children safe and healthy, because they are our world. Dear Lord, please help stop the bloodshed in Ukraine. Reach out and touch the hearts and souls of those responsible and capable to make that decision, so they wake up from their lethargic sleep and make that much-needed decision to stop the bloodshed. Please help every single Ukrainian who has been affected by the terrible tragedy, answer their prayers, and make their wishes come true. Dear Lord, please help my country, Russia. Assemble the army of your strongest angels with sharpest swords, led by Saint Michael, and send that army to our earth to get rid of the demons who we know by their names and by their faces, to get rid of the demons who have hijacked my country, Russia. Please send your angels to help good Russian people to run their country and to make it peaceful, loving, and respecting. Please help everyone who is traveling, send safe travels, everyone who is seeking for asylum of any kind, everyone who is in trouble and in dire straits, please send them help. Please help single mothers who are raising their children and struggling to make their ends meet. So please send help. God bless those who are helping Ukrainians, and please help those who are in potential danger from Russian missile attacks right now. Send them safety. Dear Lord, please help all the sick, the hungry, the homeless, the jobless, the depressed, the betrayed, the ones who are losing their faith, the ones who are not feeling well about themselves, the ones who are feeling alone and losing hope. Please fill their hearts with love and surround them with your warmth, so they feel you. They feel your presence. They feel you right next to them. They feel your help, you helping them. They feel that you're with them. You have not abandoned them. And that's a wonderful feeling. Please send it to everyone in need. Once they start feeling you right next to them, perhaps for the first time, perhaps again, their lives will change to the better. They will become happy again. Please help everyone in need. Thank you so very much for allowing us to come here every single day and pray. Thank you for everyone who's praying along with me or simply watching us pray. I would like to mention a few people who need your help. They are Mommy K and her mother. Please send recovery and send strength. Jeffrey S., please help with recovery. Richard, Olga, Alexei, Jason Carney, please send complete recovery. Sandra Dunn, Susie Mailer, send strength and our love. Have her feel our love, please. Mary Doran, Redman, Warren Spees, Jay Spike, Frank Caprio, Jim in Houston, Frank in Texas, Paula W., Gabing with Gary, Karino's mom Dorothy, Tracy, Tim Mayers, who's struggling fighting lung cancer, please send recovery. Larry B., Colleen's dad, Dominic, Lisa Cumbrian, Alex from Albuquerque, Ann Larson, please help with back pain. Mark Rutten, Wayne, who's fighting 2 cancers, Scan family members, Dave, Don, Boss Salmon, Kyle E's wife, Ann Larson's daughter, Hannah, Dory, Terry Carter's former in-laws, Morgan L., please send more recovery, Electron family, Kurt from Colorado, Deborah, Bogey Berger, and 2 sons, Natalia, Yelena, Jake, Michael, Oля, Dasha, Sky, Svetlana, Randolph, Grace Philosophy, Mr. Dean Spooner and his church, Julia Haney, Lise Dumbrell, Darla, White Lightning, George Ruberty, Leif, Stephens from Sweden, Meta Spencer, Pamela J., David Porter, his family, and everyone in Chernovtsi, Ukraine, the Highwayman, Joan Lee McMahon, Alvin, his sister, Michael Yukon, please help little girl Sarah, who's fighting for her life. Thank you for the help that you've given so far, and please continue helping. She needs to recover completely, and please help her family. Send strength to the family who's praying for their little girl day and night. Please help all the children in Ukraine and Russia who have been affected by this terrible tragedy. Thank you so much, dear Lord Jesus Christ. Amen. Friends, thank you for coming and praying with me and giving me a chance to deliver another message. I hope you found it interesting today. I would like to remind you that you're absolutely awesome and you rock. You can count on me showing up every day for the next week in videos, shorter videos, and pretty much in the streams after that. So thank you so much. You can count on me in that, and the news will be rolling out every single day. Before I sign off, I'd like to ask you to join me in saying out loud as you can, Carthago delenda est.